So the tourism growth campaign started with an email from Anton, who was one of obviously the founders of Thompson's Holidays and Thompson's Africa, has subsequently retired but has got an interest in the industry and seeing it flourish. And his view was, how do we get the growth? Because the president has said let's grow to 21 million tourists by 2030, and his point was we need to do that, we need to encourage growth and encourage communication. And as a central communication player, he thought Tourism Update could help him. We think that this campaign is a good way to start, and the Tourism Growth Campaign is really about looking at accountability in terms of the roadblocks that are standing in the way of tourism growth, and encouraging communication between the public and private sector, and discussing what can be done from a marketing point of view to reach the tourism numbers that we need. Gillian wrote an article talking about what needs to be done in terms of the quick wins with regards to tourism growth. Some of those included air access, the removal of the UBC requirements, NPTR, licensing issues, which are all issues that hinder the growth in terms of tourism. So I think Gillian's article already started people talking about things, and we got some good feedback from the article about some positive opportunities and ideas in terms of growth. And that's what we're really trying to do. We want people talking, and we want also accountability as press. While we are trying to push the positive story about South African tourism, we also need to hold people to account in terms of making sure that we move forward. So we're going to coordinate with the Tourism Growth Campaign a interaction with the industry, and that includes getting in contact with government, SA Tourism, maybe the Ministry, TBCSA, from the private sector, as well as the major role players, and also looking at the smaller players to try and understand what needs to be done to help facilitate growth. We're definitely looking for feedback from the readers, and we want lots of input. We're looking for ideas. We're looking for also issues in terms of what needs to be overcome. So input is critical because it's all part of the communication process. And ideally, the issues that come through, we are then able to use our journalists to follow up and see how these could possibly be sorted out or generate awareness around the issues. I think certainly at this point, I think initially we would like to run the campaign for 6 months and to track this, but I think it's an ongoing campaign, and it's something that will change over time in terms of what issues are needing to be done. The current issues that Gillian outlined in her article are things that hopefully will be sorted out with time, but there might be new issues that come along. But as Tourism Update, we want to see, we're mainly a tourism promotion business, and we want to see tourism grow. The tourism growth strategy is really about reaching the 21 million travellers by 2030 that's been set out by the President. How do we do this? We need to make sure roadblocks are removed that are standing in the way of growth. We need community participation in terms of sharing how growth happens, and we need better communication between the public and private sectors on how do we work together to make this happen. And so that's really what the Tourism Growth Campaign is about, is facilitating that communication.